Welcome to another edition of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas, along with the head coach of the Tigers, Shawn Nadelen, and coached the Tigers with a tough loss to Hofstra this past weekend, 8-7. But I'll start off on the positive, and that is for the second week in a row, you took one of the greatest scorers in the country and basically shut him down, and Ryan Cherney with just 1 goal and 10 shots. If I had told you that before the game started, I'm sure you would have taken it.
Yeah, Ryan's a tremendous talent. Obviously having a really strong season. He's had an amazing career at Hofstra, playing for his dad, and he was certainly a focal point for us. Having a guy like Kobe Smith, in our arsenal helps us, be excited, to be able to neutralize that matchup. And Kobe and Ryan have known each other for a long time, back when Ryan lived in the area, and those guys growing up around each other for a little bit. So it was just fun to see that matchup, the kind of game within the game of those two guys. And Kobe, I thought, did a really good job, and the supporting cast around Kobe did a good job trying to, frustrate Ryan, get to his hands when he was trying to shoot and do some things there. So it was, that was, a bright spot. And the fact that he had 3 assists, he doesn't have a ton of assists on the year. The fact that he had 3 assists kind of forced him in a different role, but also shows his versatility. And then we need, again, we just need to do an even better job, the next time we face him.
Well, the thing is, you have 3 losses in the conference, but all 3 of those teams that you played, they were tight games to the end, and you have all 3 of those opponents again. So a chance to get revenge on all 3 of the teams that have beaten you in tight ball games.
Yeah, our big thing is just realizing, how close we are, really the margin of success or failure is that, that small. And we need to play cleaner. We need to be better. We need to have better possessions offensively, better shot selection. We need to be better in the clearing game, especially at the faceoff X. We need to do a much better job there after the past 2 weekends. And defensively, we need to, continue to build on, some decent efforts that we've had the past couple of weeks, and work to get stronger there. But, we're playing well enough to win. We're just not exhibiting that killer instinct consistently enough throughout the game, especially in conference play. That's putting us in position to ultimately earn the win at the end.
I always hear coaches talk about how teams from year to year have different personalities. Your team that went to the Final Four, that was a team that played with so much confidence, and you had great senior leadership, guys that had been playing, not just on the team for a long time, but that had been playing basically for freshman year. What about this team? What is their personality? And does that need tweaking, or are you happy with the personality of the overall team?
I'm really happy with our personality. I love our leadership. I think we got great leadership from the captains into the seniors. Part of this team, though, is that even with a strong leadership group in the seniors, they don't have a ton of experience. And across the board, our team doesn't have a ton of experience. We do at this point, this season, with a lot of guys that have now played, but up until this season, we haven't. A lot of the guys that are playing this year haven't played in the past. You look at, both Gagers, Timmy Montgomery, haven't played at all. Timmy Montgomery more of a supportive role at times. Andrew Beecham, and we're asking Jake McLean to play offense where he really hasn't in the past. I asked when we got back to the locker room, I asked the guys who in the locker room has played in and won a CAA game, and 11 guys stand up, and only 3 of them have ever started in a CAA game and won, and the rest of them have been supportive roles. So that just, that speaks to, in our inexperience, and 11 of 53 guys have actually won a CAA game. That's not a lot, so
3 of 53 that started. That's
right. And the fact that, we're in these games and we're right there is encouraging. And we know that now we got, we got some tough games under our belt, both in and out of conference. We've won some tight games. We can't rely on the fact that the inexperience is, going to hamper us anymore. It's like, we got to realize what it takes. We got to realize what it takes, and we got to get on the field, and we got to do it. We got to do it in practice. We got to carry that over into the game. And, the guys that don't have, a ton of time, they have at this point, and they realize what it takes for us to be successful, and know what it looks like and what it should feel like. And, now we really got to step it up and do it at the most consistent that we can in a game.
5 conference games left, and this week you play a new opponent in Fairfield, a team that's going to you coming in looking for their first CAA win. So I'm not going to say that you're desperate. They may be a little more desperate because they're 0-4, you're 0-3, but 2 teams that I'm saying desperately need a win in the conference.
Yeah, both teams are, obviously don't have one, and whoever comes out and earns this one is going to be one step ahead of the other guy. So it's something that obviously both teams are seeing that, and both teams are, just, battling for that first conference win. And Fairfield, played a really tough one against Delaware and had a lead throughout a lot of that game. And, Delaware again shows their resiliency and ends up stretching in the fourth and getting a win. But, again, both teams are hungry and like I said, going to be, battling, scratching and clawing for that first CAA win.
One thing that I noticed about Fairfield is in their games, they've been outshot by 50 shots during the course of the season, and they're winning a majority of their faceoffs. So what has been their weakness there that they're being outshot by 50 games and giving up 14 goals a game?
It's hard to put your finger on, exactly on it. Yeah, they definitely face off well. Offensively, they got some nice firepower. Dylan Beckwith is one of the stronger attackmen in the conference. But I think the teams have focused on him pretty well and trying to frustrate him and force some other guys to do the damage. And I mean, let's face it, there's some strong teams in the CAA this year, and they've had to face them, and I think they've had to go up against some pretty staunch defenses. And even though they're winning face-off possessions, doesn't ultimately go into the scoring column or the win column for you. I mean, you look at the past 2 games, we've been worked over on the face-off score sheet, but we win a game against Loyola. And then we, unfortunately lose a game to Hofstra by a goal. And, we were well below 50% facing off in both those games. So it's a combination of a lot of things, with that number.
All right, Coach, well, we appreciate your time. And hopefully next week we're talking about that first CAA win as you have your only matchup of the year with Fairfield this Saturday. Thank you.